What happens when Rafe Fiennes falls in love with a zombie? We're gonna find out. This is The Binge, a show that merges the two greatest things this world has to offer: movies and booze. Each week we make our way through an entry of a franchise and get a little drunk along the way. This week, it's 28 years later, The Bone Temple. I'm your host, Joshua Ryan. Today I am drinking a little bit of the old Shock Top because it was buy one, get one free, and that's the way I do business. With me, as always, my co-host Timbo Jones. What's up?
What's happening, Josh? How are we? I am currently partaking. Oh, I'm glad. I just completely. I asked you a question and then I kept moving on. I'm trying a new. I bought it strictly because of the name, Show Pigeon IPA. It's in DeBerry, Florida. So we're trying this out today. It's a pigeon baby because you know in a zombie apocalypse you gotta go hunting. You gotta shoot some pigeons, especially green ones. Fuck those green ones. Maybe don't eat them because there might be zombies.
It's true. And with us, back from the Stephen King episode, we have Alan, our guest, returning. How's it going, Alan?
Going pretty well. I am drinking a rum and coke in an Avengers cup. So
yes,
yeah.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
I decided to go really big with it. So yeah.
How Tony Stark.
Nice. So we've only done one of those special ranking episodes so far, and it was the Stephen King one. But we have coming up next week. I think we are doing Jim Carrey, top 10 Jim Carrey movies. We're going to be busting out coming up soon, probably this month. So this movie is I'm gonna have a good time talking about this movie. I think it's a weird one. I mean, the last movie was weird. This movie is really violent. This movie, I think, is out of all of the movies in this franchise, probably the goriest or the most graphic. Wouldn't you say?
100%. Like it is way not only gorier, but also, other than the first movie, I think it's like the most sadistic.
Mm-hmm. And more dongs. The last one, we joked a lot about alpha zombie parts. Oh my God. The amount of violence and nudity in this movie, off the charts. This is also the first sequel in the franchise that acts as a direct sequel to the one before it, where the same story arc, same characters kind of continue over, which I think is cool. We have the returning cast. Alfie Williams returns as Spike. We have Rafe Fiennes, our man Ralphie. He's back as Dr. Ian Kelson. Jack O'Connell as Sir Lord Jimmy Crystal, who we see very briefly at the end. He's hot off his celebrated role in Sinners. Next year, he will be in Godzilla X Kong Supernova. This dude's on a run right now. You know, he was great in this movie. He was fantastic.
Yeah, Jack O'Connell.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Jack O'Connell is one of those actors that has been like lurking around fame for a while. He was in 71. He was in Startup. Like, he's somebody who I think a lot of directors have had their eye on. I think a lot of people were hoping that Money Monster would be his big breakthrough, and it just like did not work. And he's finally just getting the roles that work in movies that are good.
Oh yeah, he's getting the big ones right now.
Mm-hmm.
What is
it, funny? Tim? I was going to say it's funny because, like, as also a sports guy, the way you guys were talking, we're just waiting for this QB quarterback to really take off. He hasn't, but we still got him on a rookie contract, so he's still doing great.
He's doing it now.
I think Sinners really put him on the mainstream map, and I totally forgot that was him until I think just before I watched the movie. And I was like, oh, shit, that's right. That is him, because he obviously looks completely different with the long hair and the craziness in this movie. Going into this movie, you guys both said it's very gory. It's funny because Josh messaged the group chat of the Binge and was like, yo, this one's really gory. So I was like, oh, it's going to be nuts. So to me, you guys were both like, yeah, it's really gory. I'm like, was it that gory? Because I guess I thought it was going to be way worse.
By far compared to the others. Yes, by far.
I thought 28.
I'm pretty sure the
28
the
years
shirt
was
removal,
pretty fucked.
The shirt removal, though, is quite the scene. That's something Art the Clown would do.
Well, you don't really see it. Right?
That's reasonable.
You see them starting, and then when they cut back, it's just there. So I'm like,
well,
okay.
Let me start by saying,
I thought
because
was probably a good choice.
Let me start by saying, because we are covering this movie right after it's come out. This movie just hit theaters. This will be a spoiler episode. We're going to be talking in full about the episode. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want it spoiled for you, maybe pause this, come back to it next week.
Yeah.
If you don't care about spoilers, listen on. So, speaking of one spoiler, I was surprised we didn't see Aaron Taylor Johnson. I thought for sure this dude was going to be in this movie. That was kind of shocking to me.
We all got fooled by the one guy who we all thought it was him, and then he got
the wannabe.
He got fatality.
Yes.
Samson. And I thought it was going to be great him being on there because I was hitting my friend going like, oh, shit, he's in this. And like, he's looking for Spike. This is going to be a great another, storyline. And then she was like, that's not him. That's not him at all.
That was not him.
Not. So I lost that bet.
But I do agree with you. It's a little weird that he would not go looking out for his kid. Because this is set up to be in the days immediately after the end of the first movie. So like, how long has Spike been gone? How long has his dad not been looking for him? I don't know. It seems something like they would.
Maybe he is looking, and maybe that'll come back in the third, because this movie did get greenlit for a third.
Oh,
so this movie is coming out like 6 or 7 months after the last one. Super quick turnaround because they filmed these first two back to back, the 28 Years and Bone Temple back to back, and it was always planned as a trilogy, but they were not sure if they were going to do the third. It was kind of on to be determined. Then they started doing like some early fan screenings for this, some word of mouth screenings, like way early, like a month or over a month in advance, and everything coming out of it, the word was that this was great. Everybody was loving it, and pretty much based off of just these reactions and word of mouth, they greenlit the third one, that we are getting the third one. Before this even came out, before they even saw how it did at the box office, they said, yes, we're doing the third.
So
now,
this is like a trilogy inside of a franchise?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
The 28 years part of it is going to be a trilogy with this specific story. And thank God that they did greenlight it, because this movie ends with such a cliffhanger and such, a tease, which we will get to. But if this just ended and they were just like, sorry, we're not doing the third, I'd have been like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Why would you do this to me? Like, Uncut Gems, why would you show me something I can't have? Why would you show it to me if I can't have it? I'd be so mad.
I have a different opinion on it, but yeah.
We're going to get to the end. And the second thing is that like the first movie made enough money to cover the budgets of both movies. So they're kind of playing with house money now. If this one's even moderately a success, then they're already well in the profits. So that helps.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's see here. This movie had a budget of around 70 to 75 million. The tagline, of course, we don't know box office. It just came out. Tagline, fear is the new faith. Short, sweet. It gets the point of the movie. I like this one. This is a good tagline.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I don't know. I mean, normally this is the part where we talk all about the back end stuff. There just really ain't much because the movie just came out. You guys just want to dive into it, or you got anything you want to kind of preface up front?
No, I think let's just go straight into it.
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah.
So, little recap of the last one, because this movie does, as we said, kind of leads right into it. So Spike is kind of out on his own when he runs into some zombies and these kind of mysterious track-suited weird gang that are flipping around. The tone of the movie changes so drastically in the last 30 seconds of the movie of the first 28 years later, because it seems very cartoonish the way that these guys come in and they're doing backflips and they're just stabbing. And I think that there's like Looney Tunes, like whoa, and like little sound effects. And I was just like, what the hell is going on? I was so confused watching this part. And this is one reason I say we're talking about this movie that just came out. I almost wish we had time to sit on it before talking about it, because when I watched 28 Years Later in theaters, I kind of had it very much subverted my expectations. It was very different than I was expecting, different than the rest of the movies. And I left it and I came home because I'd seen that movie alone, like we said. I come home and my wife was like, did you like it? And I was like, I think so. I need a little bit of time to sit on this one because I wasn't sure how to feel about it. And within a day of sitting on it, within 2 days, I was just like, that was pretty great. And since then, I've seen the movie 4 times. Love this movie. That is one of my favorite movies of last year. This one also subverts expectations because it is drastically different than the one before it in tone and story and things. So as I was watching this, I had a lot of the same experiences that I had watching the first one, where I was just kind of like, what? I didn't see that coming. What are they doing? What's going on? And so it's like, I liked it, but I need time to stew on it, I think, to really kind of process my feelings on this movie. Right? You guys think?
I mean, yeah, the 28 years is such a, like, I even said it when we, did the podcast for that. I felt it was very like we were calling it like an arts house, artsy kind of a thing, because it was all over the place kind of stylistically, especially the beginning with like the marching. I mean, everything definitely has a theme to it, and it all makes sense in this in this artsy way. So even at the end, when they were doing all that crazy, we called it like the Power Rangers shit and tracksuits because they all had different colors. It somehow still fit the weirdness of that movie, where since this one was directed by a different person, this was
right. I'm glad you bring that up because I did want to touch on that before we get into the movie talk. I just saw that in my notes here.
And I remember reading something like how they were like saying like, no, that one is going to be a little bit different, and this one's going to be shot a little bit different too. And I realized while watching it, some of the shots, I just turned to my friend and I go, "This is shot beautifully." So this felt, in my opinion, more like a dramatic, like almost not even a zombie movie at times. Where that one to me just felt very artsy, which I'm not knocking it for saying it like that. It just was, got fucking crazy at times, in my opinion. Alan?
I was gonna say, so like you have a lot more of like a studio horror film kind of on display here, even though there are less zombies in it than the previous movie. And I think that's to its benefit in the sense that everything is bigger, everything is grander. It is increasing the scope of what they're doing, even though, our kid is going backwards. Spike is technically going back to someplace he's already been. Everything around him is exploding and getting larger. The lore is getting deeper. And you have Ralph Fiennes just absolutely killing it in terms of just giving this massively weird performance.
Fantastic.
So good.
And so while I liked him a lot in 28 years later, in Bone Temple, he is just like on another level. This is the Ralph Fiennes that I love. And so when he's in this mode, it's so easy to fall in love with this movie, where you have one side that's incredibly sadistic and you have the other side that is somebody trying to save the world. It's weird to have them in such clashing conflict throughout the movie, but I think when they do intertwine, it really helps the movie crescendo in a way that is creating the reaction you're seeing.
Yeah, because it's weird, because it's like normally you have the main plot and then you have like subplots. It's like, I don't know if there were even subplots. I feel like both them going on is both the main plot. And
Teletubbies were the subplot. They came back up.
The Teletubbies did come back. So it just was like, because you had the Jimmies and what they were fucking doing, which included Spike, and then you had Ralph Fiennes, what he was doing with Samson, and then you kind of meet this new chick who is pregnant, and you're just like, oh man, like, but everything intertwines with each other so perfectly. And you just feel for Ralph Fiennes' character too at the same time. Oh man, he was so fucking good. Oh,
yeah, I mean, for most of the movie, he is just alone, and like it's him with Samson, who is not speaking for the majority of the movie. So it is just him projecting his feelings and thoughts onto this creature. It's very wild how effective it becomes.
Yeah.
So,
and I have to,
right before
when we get to it, Josh, I will, I think, change something that we talked about in the 28 years later. A little spoiler for you. Something I was upset about, which I might have now changed my mind.
I'm titillated.
You should titillated away, baby. All right, sorry.
So before we get into breaking it down like we was just about to do, I did forget to mention, Danny Boyle, who directed the original 28 Days Later. He came back and directed 28 years later. He stepped out of the director's chair again. We have coming in Nia DaCosta, who did the 2021 Candyman reboot, did The Marvels in 2023. Just last year did Hedda, starring Tessa Thompson, which was very good.
Yes.
Alex Garland did return to write. I love Alex Garland. I'm so glad he sticks around to write. He's written all of them now except for 28 Weeks Later, which really shows, because we talked about how poor that script really is. Even though the movie can still be fun, it's a pretty poor script.
And that's like the only one out of all of them that's like a horror zombie movie, where all these other ones are like, it's a zombie movie, but there's so much deeper to it.
More human drama to it. Yeah.
Yes, I couldn't think of it. Yeah, it's more of a personal, like, is it the zombies who are the enemies, or is it other people who are the fucking enemies? And that shows it.
That's deep.
Well, and also Garland has just been on fire in the last like 48 months. Like, he had Civil War, he had Warfare, he had now 2 of these movies. He's just like pumping stuff out, It's kind of crazy to see him work as much as he does, considering how picky he is on what he's working on.
Right. So this movie picks up where now the Jimmies, they're known as the Fingers, because the fingers make a fist. It's like a metaphorical thing. And they are led by the Lord Jimmy Crystal, who is Jack O'Connell that we were talking about. So it picks up, and they're in this empty pool, kind of an indoor gymnasium swimming pool. This scene is teased at in the trailers, and they have Spike. And you realize that they have this ritual to where they go around, they torture, they kill people, but they'll give some certain people the opportunity to join the gang. The only way to do that, because they can only have 5, because they're fingers to make a fist, there can only be 5 members, is that you have to challenge one to duel. And so when the movie picks up, the challenge has already started. They're in mid-duel, and you see Spike is out of his element. He's much younger, much smaller than everybody else there. They're taunting him, they're teasing him, and you see the one dude that he's supposed to be, fighting is just kind of playing with him, just kind of like tormenting him. The way this movie opens, it's serious, man. It's like camping, the opening to this. It's intense.
Mm-hmm. And
boo!
Well, I was gonna say, and that guy, when he does get stabbed, like it just gushes for a while. Oh, yeah. It just forces us to sit in watching somebody bleed out as slowly as possible. And
so obviously Spike wins, because they're not going to kill off Spike in the beginning. But how he wins is because the dude's so busy fucking with him and tormenting him. Spike pantses the dude and then just stabs him in the femoral artery, like right by the dick. Just goes right into the femoral artery, and it just, like you said, just gushes. And there's no medical care. This is the apocalypse. He gone. There's no way to stop that.
Even in today's world, if you're pretty much fucked.
Well, and the thing for me is that none of them try to help him at all. He sits there and he's just like, "Whoa, no, guys, go and help," and nobody will do anything. And because Jimmy, Jimmy says, "Hey, you're not going to help." He knew the rules and he fucked around and found out.
Yeah,
it is what it is. You're not allowed to, man. That's the way it goes.
You know what? With that starting, it's so great because you take the kid that we rooted for in the first one, you put him in peril right away, and he kind of inadvertently wins. I think he was trying to stab him in the dick and just stab him in the thigh, obviously not knowing that there was a fucking artery there. And so you kind of don't blame Spike for doing it, even though we're all like, yeah, fuck that dude up. But even Spike's like, I can't believe I fucking killed this guy. This is not what I wanted. And he's still tormented by it. So, I mean, it's just a great way to start the movie and like get you in your seat going, oh, fuck, no, Spike. Oh, he can't die. They're going to kill him off right away,
It's Spike. And if you're wondering where Ralph Fiennes is during this, the old doctor, he is doing drugs with a zombie. He's doing drugs with Samson.
Dude, so, for real.
This is, it's crazy. This is why I was saying I'm kind of surprised that the word of mouth on this movie is so good. Not because I don't like it. I love this movie. But this to me doesn't seem like a movie this seems like a movie that would divide general audiences, because especially what the route that they go with Samson, the alpha zombie. So, from the last movie, you have the alpha. They introduce this hierarchy of zombies, and the alpha, the giant dude who kind of leads the pack. How Ralph Fiennes would manipulate and deal with him is just darts him with some drugs. Just darts him with morphine. It puts him into a trance. Well, we realize at the beginning of this movie, Samson likes that trance. He likes that high, buzz he gets. So he keeps coming back, not to be aggressive. He almost feigns aggressiveness, like kind of twitches at Ralph Fiennes, trying to get him to dart him because he wants the high. And once Ralph Fiennes realizes this, he uses this to try and build a little trust, a little communication of, I'll give it to you. Don't attack me or you don't get it. I'll let you get high. And then they just become buds who do drugs together.
Well, and the funny thing was the scene where he falls asleep and he wakes up and he touches his head. He's like, oh, cool. It's still attached. Because he fully well knew that he could just be dead and whatever. It happens. And he decided to take that risk. And it's very funny to watch that friendship evolve to the point where he's singing Rio without sound, and all of a sudden we get like the echoes of society being Duran Duran, like flooding into the movie.
I think once again, when the first movie came out and we're like, oh shit, there's fast zombies now, and they changed the game with zombies, because I don't remember fast zombies before 28 days later, and now in this writing they changed the game again with zombies with Kelso. Like We kept calling him Kelso because we found it hilarious. My friend was saying it, and I was like, I don't think his name is Kelso from that 70s show. And now that's all we call him. So I'm going to fuck this up the entire time.
Who are you talking about?
One of the people I saw the movie with yesterday. But so I think it's interesting to watch him with his whole phrase is memento mori, remember you're going to die. And he's just willing. He's like, I already did everything I'm supposed to do, so I'm going to try to treat him. And if he kills me, he kills me. And the fact that now in this movie, they're like changing the game that can you treat zombies? Like, can they come back? And I felt even with Samson, I didn't think, yes, he wanted to get high, but I think he wanted the release of like the voices in his head and the visions.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely about.
Because you saw the vision
he's an addict.
Of why
he's an addict.
Oh, no, yeah, he became an addict, definitely.
Well,
but when you see him like kill that guy, you saw what he saw, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, it makes more sense that the part of the reason why the humans that are infected are so angry and rageful is that they are now, their mind is manipulated in a way where it's causing them to basically be on the psychoactive drugs that like Scarecrow gives out. But it's just that all the time. So of course they want to kill everything because that's scary. Like, and that's how
kill things that are scary.
And it's also interesting because like even nowadays there's some medical providers that are trying to use, you know, psychedelic drugs to help with like PTSD. So it's still like in the vein of like real world that you can kind of use certain types of drugs in order to get over something. So it is an interesting take with a zombie movie.
It's funny because basically the doctor character becomes like a drug pusher, which probably it's pretty similar to his real life as a doctor.
Yeah,
am I right?
It's also based in reality as well. Opioids. So, sorry I said that loud.
We see a scene where there is a trio foraging in the woods, and this is where we get our fake Taylor Johnson. What's his name? Anya Taylor-Joy. Who we talking about?
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Taylor Johnson. But what's his first name? That's only part of his name. Aaron. There it is.
Yeah.
We get Aaron Taylor Johnson fake, the wannabe. It looks like it's him, and for a second I was like, oh, Aaron Taylor Johnson. No, it's just some other dude. But these three foraging in the woods, one thing that came to me right away, they're dressed way too nice. This is a post-apocalypse. They looked way too overdressed to be foraging for woods, foraging for like mushrooms amongst zombies. But we don't know who these people are, and it's funny they get introduced really for the sake of just propelling the Jimmies and the Finger story, and then they go away once their bit is done. But they seem important for a little bit. So one of these dudes gets attacked by zombies. The other two go running back. But when they make it back to their house to try and warn everybody, hey, zombies got our friend, the fake Taylor Johnson, the Jimmies are already there. They're talking Teletubbies. They're just at the table. And I love when the bad guys pretend like they're all just calm and nice and hey, we're just having, but everybody can feel the tension. And everybody knows it is not calm and nice. But they're sitting there and they're playing like, no, it's fine. We're all just chilling, right? But everybody knows something real bad's about to happen, and that's what they're doing here. Always
they're in
works.
Control. Yo, was that the cottage from the second movie?
I don't believe so, but it's been a minute since I've seen.
It looked very similar.
It just looks so similar. I was like, yo, that'd be such a cool tie-in that was from the second movie, and like these people now live in there. But it looked so similar. I just couldn't tell if there was like a lake or something nearby. Like when he got away on the boat.
Right.
But no, you're right.
I don't know,
Josh. Yeah. Whenever there's like, you could just tell. I was gonna say like gangsters. You know, when they sit in the table, like no matter what room they're in, they have the control of the room.
Oh yeah.
Like he's 100% in control. And having that girl do that shitty fucking dance, which was terrifying, so hilarious, right? Because you're like, oh my god, it's like a room full of jokers from Batman, you know?
Well, it's the whole culture stopped, 28 years ago. The last thing he remembers is this thing. None of these children that he's talking to were allowed to even know what Teletubbies looks like. So they're relying on his interpretation of Teletubbies and 30 years of surviving the apocalypse.
Yeah.
The way that it filters through is very different than what we're all used to. We all know what Teletubbies are, but like these other characters don't, not actually. And it's very interesting to see that dichotomy. And you notice the only person who's like, wait, Teletubbies is the oldest man who's in the house, where everybody else is under 30, so they don't remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just for those people who might have forgotten, Jimmy, the main bad guy here, the last movie opened with kids watching Teletubbies when a zombie attack comes. And he was that child, and he runs to the church to tell his dad something bad's happening. And his dad was the pastor, the preacher, who was crazy and is just thinking that this is, God's will, zombies coming in and lets the zombies eat them. And it's this big, terrible thing. That's how the last movie opened. And then what a great way to open that, because then they don't even really show you that kid grown up until the last 30 seconds in the movie. That was all set up for this movie. The whole opening of the first movie is a setup for the second one.
Well, especially because for a minute until the very end of the first movie, I thought that the child who escaped was just Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Right.
We were just seeing Aaron Taylor Johnson's origins. But we find out later that it's not the case. And especially when you start seeing like the Jimmy person hung upside down that was infected. It says Jimmy on his chest in the first movie, and then you realize that's these guys later. Right. Like they're torturing. Sadism was already on display in the first movie. We just didn't realize it yet.
Yeah.
Such a good, and it's because they were written by the same dude. They were filmed back to back, perfectly stitched together. I can't wait to see how the third one comes in. But let's see here. So this scene, Then when the girl who was just out in the woods, she comes running back. She's pregnant, and again they play her up like she's going to be a big part. She really isn't. Once this all kind of ends, she's a big part of this scene, which is a prolonged scene, and she's the one who's challenging them. She's like, "What are they doing here? You can't be here. Get out of here." And he's like, "Oh, you want us to leave?" And she's like, "Yeah, you're not welcome." Blah blah. And he's like, "Fine, but we're gonna kill you first." And then this big action scene comes out. Dude throws boiling water on all the Jimmies. They're just like, "Ah, fuck, I'm a burning Jimmy." And the girl runs. She sprints because she's pregnant. She gets out of there. She's the only one who gets away. Then all these Jimmies, all the fingers, take this family into the barn. In this part, this is what I'm talking about. It gets really brutal. Like you said, it gets so sadistic here because these guys are so crazy. They're not just surviving. They're trying to torture people. They are a cult, basically, because Lord Jimmy, who runs them, has them convinced that he is the son of Satan. This is kind of what we learn. He says he is the son of Satan and that he knows all the wills of the evil and why the zombies are here and is commanding them on what to do. So not only do they follow him because of the cult beliefs, but they kind of have to, because if you don't, he's going to kill you and torment you as well, which is kind of where Spike is stuck. Spike is trapped. Yeah. But the things they do to these people when they're chained up, we touched on it in the beginning, the shirt removal. And as soon as they said shirt removal, I knew exactly it was going to be a skinning. Then they go up and they rip the dude's shirt off. And I was like, I know that's not it. That's not torture. Removing a shirt by ripping his shirt off. That's not it. No, they skin the upper torso and just pull it off like a shirt. They just de-glove your whole upper body while you're alive.
I wonder if they filmed that and then they were like, maybe this is too much. Because, you see them cutting into him, and then when they come back later, I mean, there was even a woman, her whole breasts and everything, they're all, everything, everybody, there's 3 people that get skinned, and one guy kind of doesn't. So I wonder if they have that, bonus footage of them actually, pulling the skin down.
You sick fuck, Tim. You sick fuck. You want to see it.
Well, yes, and considering how much prosthetic use is already being applied to the zombies, it is probable that's how they had to do it, in terms of, in one scene, you show them just losing their actual shirts, and in the next scene, they throw on a sweatshirt that is the makeup, and because I can't imagine what the makeup cost would have been to have shown it all as it slowly happens.
Just ripping it off. It's interesting, filming wise, or writing wise, how long those scenes with Jimmy and the Jimmies are, because that them in the table. In the tension scene, it's kind of a long scene, along with everything that happens inside of the barn, and then even things that happen outside the barn that we're about to touch on. It's long. They have long scenes together. I think it works well. I'm not saying that as a knock, because usually in screenwriting, they're don't have these super long, a 5-page scene. I'm like, these scenes are 10 pages. These are major scenes.
And this movie is not that long. It's an hour and 50 minutes. It's under 10, it's 10 minutes below 2 hours. But Tim, you're right, because there's not a ton of big scenes in this movie. There's not a ton specifically that really happens in this movie. Yeah. But what does happen is all just so engaging that you're so involved and engaged in what you're watching that it just works so good. There's not a lot. If we just were to say the plot of this movie, I could say the plot and everything that happens in this movie without going into deep detail in like 10 seconds. Like they go here, they do this, they do this, that, and then it ends here. Like there's not a lot that happens. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
But I think just because the way Jimmy talks, it like lures you in, and the way Dr. K talks, it lures you in. And you're just kind of like, what the fuck is going to happen next? You know? Sorry, I'll cut you off.
Well, it goes back to the idea that, like, when you find the right actor for a role like this, it can completely change the entire, like, complexion of a movie. And Jack O'Connell, now 2 years in a row, is this, like, big bad villain, can just take over entire scenes. Like you said, he can be very verbose and intimidating, and we're just locked in. It doesn't matter. Time feels like it goes much faster because we are so into whatever this dude is up to. And what is almost more intriguing is when he finally lets that guard down later in the movie, when he actually talks, when he comes face to face with Fiennes. That's when it's like, whoa, this guy is like on another conversation level. Yeah.
It's one of the best scenes, I think. And it's just a conversation. Yeah. But because those two actors are so on point, and it's like, we understand the, like, how good Ralph Fiennes is, like his character, how good Dr. Ian is. He has weird views, he has weird thoughts, but he's very eloquent in the way he explains them, and you can see the deep meaning in how he believes in them and the earnest goodness that he sees in his thoughts. And then you have fucking Lord Jimmy Crystal over here, who is pure evil and pure sadism. And we're getting ready to get there, but I want to jump ahead a little bit since we're talking about it. There's a moment where they just sit and they talk, and it's a good 5 minutes of them just talking, and you see at first Ralph Fiennes is like thrown off by him. But then they just talk, and they're just kind of having a good conversation. And Jimmy's just like, hey, I need you to do this, or I'm going to rip your intestines out and shove them down your throat. And then Ralph Fiennes is just like, well, I guess I better do that. And like, that's how
and not just do it, but fucking what a show does he put on at the end.
Oh, yeah.
But hold on, before you, I mean, can we talk about Alan
we skipped ahead. We've talked about the removing of the shirt. We got to talk removing of the pants, because we've described to you what a removing of the shirt is. You can piece together what a removing of the pants is. Skinning everything below the belt. Good God, I didn't want to go there. So what they do, they give one of these dudes who's chained up the same treatment they give Spike. They tell him, get off the chains. Choose one of these fingers to fight a finger. You get to pick, and if you beat them, you live. If not, you die. And he chooses the little girl who looks like she's kind of cowering. She's a younger, smaller build girl. Wrong choice, because this girl is absolutely insane, and she's putting on an act, basically acting on meek. And she comes up and she's like, "You chose me because you thought I was scared, or you thought I was weak. I'm not, buddy. You chose wrong." And she just goes at him, beats the shit out of him, beats him, pins him down, and then it's like, I'm going to take off your pants. And we know that doesn't just mean taking off your pants. That means skinning your dick. He's about to get his dick skinned. And as this is happening, the pregnant lady who'd run out is hiding up in the barn watching. And she's just like, I have watched everybody get skinned to death. I haven't done anything. I'm going to do something here. Skinning the dick, I draw the line. So she decides to jump in. And for some reason, there's just a big hook. I mean, it's a barn. I'm sure a big hook could be used for many things.
It's like you pick up hay and all that stuff.
I was about to say, transport hay up to the upper level. And it's on like a trolley. And she just fucking sends it down. And you know what she's going to do, because she sees it, it shows it. But it doesn't show her send it down. It just shows the girl over him getting ready to skin his dick. And all of a sudden, she's just like, duck, duck. And does she say the cat is lost? What did she say? Where's my cat?
I think she just kind of starts rambling because she says something about the cat, but I think it's because the hook is in her brain.
Dude,
it's just scrambling everything.
I think she said the cat is lost. I wrote it down. Something. She gets a big hook in the brain,
and they sit on that for a minute.
Yeah, it's for at least a minute. It's not like a quick like, oh boy, this happened very fast. It's like, no, we have to watch her like mind try to turn through what's happening,
because and it's just that one angle too. They don't cut, like, and it's just then like the blood trickles down and she's babbling, and I'm like, it's in her head, right? We all assume that, and then finally they cut behind her head, and she's still, even when the barn gets on fire, we're about to talk about, she's just still like babbling shit. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like the director, she sat on all these moments for longer than normal, and it fucking worked. Oh man,
she said, "Look at it," and I did.
Watch this.
I looked at it. After that, I
and
liked that they're.
But Alan said, "Who's that? That's Andy Serkis's kid." You said
the boy who is fighting her. Yes, it's Andy Serkis's
yeah.
kid.
That's
and the girl is Emma Laird from Mayor of Kingstown and Brutalist. Like, she's had a couple like small roles in stuff.
Well, the other girl, the other Jimmy, who
I was going to say we didn't
friends,
talk. They added Erin Kellyman. She was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That's what I was going to say.
Small part in Solo. She's great in this movie. She's really good in this movie.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of either one of those things that she was in, but she was still good
Correct.
in those. But she was amazing in this. Amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I always remember her from Green Knight is the thing that pops for me. She's like the princess who lost her head. Like that's the thing that I always remember her from.
Oh, I have owned the Green Knight on Blu-ray since it came out, and I've never watched it yet.
Really?
Oh, well, fix that.
You should watch it.
Yeah, I know. I own it. It's sitting on my shelf right now. I'll get to it. So
anyway.
What we didn't mention is she's not there.
Oh yeah,
Erin Kellyman is not there as all this is happening.
Yeah.
She is watching as Ralph Fiennes and Samson the Alpha Zombie lay in a field and stare up at the stars together while they do drugs. And what's funny is my daughter sincerely thought, not as a joke, that this was going to be like that they were like dating, that this was a love story now between them.
That's what my
she
friend
says this
said
to
to
me.
me.
She's like, Are they in a relationship? And I didn't really know. I was like, I don't know. I thought it might go there too. I was like, this is a weird movie. I could see them going to some weird romance between these two. They don't go there, but it is.
My friend leaned in and said, "Yo, is this
to a
Brokeback
romance.
Mountain? What are we watching?"
I was say heated rivalry.
Maybe,
There
man.
you go.
Yeah.
It's close to a romance because the bond is just so deep and impactful. But I don't think it goes to a romantic bond. But when I talked to her about it afterwards, she's like, they were just laying there staring at the stars together. And I said, yeah, I get it.
Well, anyone who's done
She ended up
drugs
really
together
liking the movie,
understands
too.
that.
It's real Timon and Pumbaa energy is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
there
going
you
like,
go.
what do you think stars are made of? Just balls of gas. No,
Balls
dead
of gas.
kids.
So when she
Oh,
sees
my God.
this,
We got to talk about that.
when
moment.
she sees this in her mind, because they have been brainwashed,
Yeah,
to believe that
indoctrinated.
Satan is here ruling the earth. She's like, this dude's covered in red, or he's red skin, and that's because he's covered in iodine, and has a temple of bone, a bone castle, and is friends with a zombie. I mean, yeah, that's a good reason and deductive to think that that's Satan.
So to be fair, that was my impression of all of the trailers of the first one before I saw it. Is I'm like, oh my God, Ray Fiennes covered in blood, living in a bone temple. That seems like he's a bad dude.
Yeah.
Like, and then all of a sudden the movie
That's what I'm saying.
swerves.
Good reasoning deductiveness.
So she is basically us from the last movie, thinking that's who he is. He's actually the inverse.
Yeah. Oh man, I like though. She actually saw him earlier. I do like that Spike. So in that whole barn scene, Spike couldn't take it, goes outside and throws up, and then she is outside with him when she comes back.
She'll
Like
puke,
she sees him, so she sees him puke, and she's like, "Yo, let's just hang out here. We can stay out here, right?" Because she's starting at this moment to think that Jimmy's kind of full of shit. So I actually thought it was kind of funny. So when shit starts going wrong,
And she's like,
and
that's
the girl
weird screaming.
Yeah, the girl gets the fucking hook in her head, and then the barrel rolls over to the guy who survived it, who did not get pantsed, and like gets a fire in front of this like fuel tanker, and then just starts.
Oh yeah,
propane
we get a
tank.
wicked flamethrower scene.
Oh, wicked flamethrower scene. He lights the other
It
Jimmy on
uses the
fire.
propane tank.
Yeah,
Sweet.
and like the whole barn starts going up, and they're just outside going like, "There's a lot of screaming." Like Alan just said, "There's a lot of screaming." Yeah, there's always a lot of screaming, and you're like, "If only you knew what was happening." And then everyone comes out, and they're like, "Oh shit!" Like, I
Dude,
found
when the
that
barn
scene very
doors-
funny.
When the barn doors burst open and this dude's just on fire and there's all hell breaking loose, it was such a cool scene. The
Yes.
use of fire, we talked about this when we covered Ballerina, like back in the beginning. A good flamethrower scene is always fantastic. Like, you can screw it up, sure. And this isn't even a real flamethrower. He just turns on the propane tank and it just uses it as a flamethrower, but it works
like a
just
boss.
as well.
Yeah, and then I think he gets taken out, and then just like rolls it towards him as he's like dying. I'm like,
We
yeah,
knew he
fuck
was
yeah,
gone.
dude.
He was already
I think
fucked.
he was trying to honestly put his friends out of their misery at that point, like when he rolls it, because the next scene we see them
alive.
all engulfed in flames too.
Yeah.
That's kind of another thing that's Predator-ish. They were all just hanging up skinned.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Predator stuff going on.
That's true.
I don't like it.
But like I said, like one of those long scenes was them outside with Jimmy talking to everybody during that whole the barn's on fire right behind him, and like
true.
Oh, it's so good. It's such a good scene too.
But Samson, as Ralph Fiennes is talking to him and giving him the morphine, basically the little scene we kind of brushed over when they're having a little romantic date on the hill. And Samson and the doctor tells Samson, "Hey, listen, this drug that you love so much, I'm running out. At the rate you're going, I'm gonna be out of it in like 2 weeks. Then we're kind of fucked." And he's like, "I have to put you out of your misery." And he's getting ready to like Dr. Kevorkian him. He's getting ready to give him a shot. He's just about to do it. And he's like, "I wish you could give me consent. Give me the tiniest bit of consent." But he can't because he's a zombie. But then, just as he's about to do the shot, he looks up at the moon. And the zombie speaks. He says, "Moon." And this is like a Planet of the Apes, the OG, the myth, the legend of the first monkey to ever speak when he said no. And it was like a revolutionary moment. And things have changed. The fucking zombie says moon. And you realize, I guess here's the question. At this point, he had only really given him morphine. He hadn't begun treating him with psychoactive drugs, which he does later. Right at this point, he hadn't when he says,
"No, not yet."
So is it just the human connection? What is it?
Well, it's solely the morphine, but it's also that it's basically calming his nerves to the point where his brain can actually start to function again.
Yes,
true.
Because you do see him staring off at stuff, and things are kind of like slowing down. Like he was staring at the moon for a long time, and it was kind of like slowing down.
Moons are great.
Because then later we have the train scene or bits of the train later, and then more of the train later than that.
And that's what I was saying. When Fiennes is dancing to Rio, he's singing it a cappella just to himself. But we slowly, because he keeps cutting to Samson's face, we slowly start to hear the actual song playing in the background.
Right.
So like, pieces are actually coming together for him, and we just don't realize that's the significance yet. Whereas like, they're playing Rio by Duran Duran, whatever.
And isn't that like a real thing too? I mean, what was that? The Robin Williams and De Niro movie. It was all about Awakenings. It was all about music helping awaken like mentally disabled people. So it's like it kind of still works in a weird way that he's singing, and that's kind of triggering something in Samson to kind of bring back his humanity, along with like the drugs and stuff.
I like that as Samson becomes more human, they show us that he's becoming more human. Because he eats a blackberry and he covers his mangoes with a towel. He like puts a towel around his waist.
And then he also wipes off his fingers. Like you see him wipe. I was like, I'm gonna
clean my own hands.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Whoa. What's going on?
I was so invested in what was going on during that like death scene that you're just talking about. The shot he was about to give him, he puts it in him, and then he says moon. I was like, oh my God, he said moon. There's a light. Don't kill him. I don't know. I was in this movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Tim, okay. I told Alan before we started, I predicted you hated this movie. Did you not hate this movie?
I did not hate this movie.
Oh, awesome.
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
Good.
It's going to change some of my opinions on the second movie. Or on the first movie that we talked about last time, where I was like, that's bullshit. That can't happen. No. 28 years later, there was a scene that we talked about, and I was like, this is fucking bullshit. That can't happen. They're zombies. Like, fuck off. And then in this movie, I'm like,
the birth?
Oh,
is it the birth?
It's the birth scene. Yeah, it was the birth scene.
Well, let's talk about it now.
We'll talk about it now. Dude, everything that Kelso did, I keep calling him Kelso, Dr. K did with fucking Samson, I go, oh, it does make more sense that, like, the mom thing, they can, like, she was kind of had some sort of clarity because, like Alan even saying, like, something kind of overwritten, the drugs overwritten, the zombiness, the virus of this, like, rage zombie. To where, like, I think the pain of the motherhood, like, overrided that, and she was able to be somewhat cognizant. I can't speak. You know what I'm saying?
Cognitive
with the mom, and could give birth, and
she
not
was able to
just
push
attack
a baby.
Everybody. Yeah, she was able to actually have birth. So that's where I'm changing my stance on that, because I was like, Alan, I was like, this is bullshit. I don't give a fuck. Mother, no, they're not connected. She's a fucking zombie. Like, that's not how that works. And now I'm like, I walked out of the theater going, oh shit, that could work.
What is a zombie?
Damn it, I was wrong.
Yeah,
so we're asking now, what is a zombie really?
Had that conversation, and that's really, it's very funny that you guys had the conversation you did about is this a zombie movie or not, because this movie more or less makes the argument that these are just people who are infected with something that can be cured. So maybe they aren't zombies. They just happen to manifest with zombie-like symptoms.
True.
Exactly.
It's true.
And what's his name said zombie in the movie. Oh my God. He did say zombie, Jimmy. He goes, the fucking zombies, dude. I was like, oh, he said it. He said it.
Did he say it? I didn't catch it.
He did
say it.
Yeah,
yes,
he said the Z word.
Oh, nice.
He said it to Dr. Z. Or Dr. K.
So we get a very short flashback, and they show it in the trailer. And when I saw the kid in the trailer, you guys probably had the same thought. I was like, that's little Samson? That's got to be little alpha zombie.
You know, I didn't even watch the trailer.
Well, they show little Samson. So I was like, are we going to get his origin? They don't really give us that. They just do a very brief flashback to him being young, but we do see human Samson. So Samson goes on to the train, the same train that the lady gave birth in. And he sits in one of the seats, and he's just sitting, and he's just stewing, and he's thinking, and he kind of goes off into this trance and has flashbacks, memories. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, before that, it's not just because of the morphine. This is when Dr. K was giving him the other drugs as well, a cocktail. We don't really know what it is. Yes. Yeah.
So he gets some... Ray Fiennes decides he wants to try to treat the zombieism because he recognizes that it is a kind of mental block. It's a brain disorder that they aren't able to think and function as humans. He wants to try and use some psychoactive drugs. And he does. So after this is when Samson, goes. He's having his contemplative thoughts. We see the flashback to him as a child on a train reading a book. What's the book about? The moon. Deep memories. All connecting. Right. He's reading about the moon. And then it kind of cuts ahead a little bit to him maybe being like teenage years, and then cuts immediately right back, and it's just Samson on the train, like alpha zombie, and all these zombies are like looking. Oh no! Right before he snaps out of it, a lady's asking him, "Do you have your train ticket? Do you have your train ticket?" And then he snaps back, and all these zombies are staring at him, and he just goes, "I don't have my ticket," because he's kind of lost between his memories and where he is and is he human. And that's the first time you hear him speak a full sentence. He just kind of mutters it barely. "I don't have my ticket." And then the zombies are like, "You're not a fucking zombie!" And they just attack him. And then we just see him go full alpha mode and just
destroy them.
Shit out of a ton of zombies.
Oh, such an awesome
He's like
scene.
Blade. He is Blade of zombies. He has the best of both worlds.
That's so true. Oh, Josh, that's so fucking true. Sorry, Alan. You're
he has
I was gonna say, is this
powers of the zombie.
It's crazy.
Dude. That scene, I was like, "Oh
just
fuck!" Like
snaps
I was
one over a chair.
Yeah, because the one bit him. And when they bit him, I was like, "It doesn't matter." You go no. The first thing, the guy, he like ripped the dude open and spit all over him, the blood. I was like, "Doesn't matter. This guy, he's already infected. He's gonna fuck them all up." Like it went from this emotionally impacted
blood in his face.
Yeah, and like
a Dilophosaurus.
Yes.
What side are we going? It was so fucking like impactful for him as a character. It was so awesome to watch him kind of snap out of it, and you see his eyes like go back to normal and not be so like dilated and blood all everywhere inside of it. And then all of a sudden the zombies can just smell it. They're like, "You're not fucking one of us," like you just said. Oh man, and just fucking goes ape shit naked and just fucking rips everybody apart. And they cut it there. They still fight everybody. And then we go back and we're like, "Fuck. This is awesome!" Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was in it.
It was
a
a good
edge
scene.
of my seat. I paid for the whole seat, but I needed the edge, Josh. That's Monster Jam.
You should get a refund, partial at least.
I should get it. I'm calling my Cineplex.
So all of this leads up. Really, this is what I'm saying. Now we're already really at the climax of the movie, which is this is kind of leading into the discussion that Jimmy and the doctor have, where Jimmy realizes because the girl from Falcon and Winter Soldier tells him, "Hey, Satan, who you claimed your dad, I saw him." And Jimmy's just like, "What?" And you can see it in his face. He's confused because he's clearly, he knows he's bullshitting them. He's like, "What do you mean you saw him?" And she describes, she's like, "No, a red dude is friends with the zombies down there, and he's got a bone castle." And he's like, "The fuck?" So they go look, and he sees him, and he's like, "Yeah, that's my dad. Let me go talk to him alone." He goes down, and this is where we have that conversation we were talking about, him and Ray Fiennes. Great scene. Just the conversation between the most evil and the most like kind-hearted dudes existing in this apocalypse.
Well, it's also Jimmy coming into contact with somebody who actually remembers the world from before. And that part of the contact is something he hasn't had in a long time. And so as he's discussing that with him, he's like, wow, this guy actually remembers what the world was like. Huh, that's pretty cool. By the way, I'm still going to kill you. Like, I'm still an insane person, but like, now, it's nice that we had this moment.
Now, do you think that, because like when Jimmy does come down there, and Alan, you talked about this a moment ago, where you see this different side of Jimmy, this more vulnerable side, where he is a little bit more apprehensive about this person who he just met. Because Jimmy, I believe, says that he really did think he was meeting his dad. He really thought that he might have been him in like a weird way. Do you believe him when he says that? Because I do believe him. I don't think he would be lying about that.
No, and the other thing is, if you think about it, I don't think he believes it's his dad. He remembers his dad. He remembers his dad was a priest, lived at the rectory, right? But part of his whole lore about himself is that he's trying to separate as far from his father as possible, right? Like if your dad is a priest and what he believed clearly didn't work and it caught him killed, then clearly the only things that would be true, if God didn't save him, then the only thing that could exist would be the devil. And so his whole belief system is based on the fact that his dad failed at protecting him. Yeah. And then got completely destroyed by that. Like just mentally, physically, everything about that.
Yeah. Cause I 100% believed him being almost scared talking to Kelso and seeing someone like that. Cause obviously he doesn't know what iodine is. He doesn't really know what all that shit is. And so, like, seeing this dude who has this pigmentation of red, you're like, and this bones, you're like, what the fuck is going on? So I do think he was somewhat nervous. I do think that he obviously is manipulating them, and he always pretends to, like, talk to, Satan and be like, oh, no, he says, yeah, we need to do an act of charity, cut off their shirts, and that's their way of killing people and tormenting people. But I do think that when he did get down there, he's like, are you actually fucking Satan? And then when he realized he wasn't, he was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I need you to be him so I can keep fucking with these kids, and I need to get more people on my side because you're going to help me with that.
The other thing that I was going to say is that by him seeing Ray Fiennes and seeing like the iodine blood and all of that, for a minute he's like, is there somebody who's like badder and somehow more insane than me? I mean, like, to be clear,
right.
Kind of have to be a little crazy to build a bone temple. It's like the people who build giant things in Minecraft, but with people. Yeah. Like, it's pretty.
It's so interesting. Well, it's so interesting too because throughout history you have that, like the whole idea of Memento Mori, which is now Dr. K's like anthem. It's so weaved in religion and hardcore and like in hardcore Catholicism, like especially old school Catholicism. We have all these like bone temples underneath like France and Italy and all this stuff. You have all these skulls.
Yeah, the catacombs.
Like yeah, that's the word. I couldn't think of the fucking word. Catacombs. So it's like
honeycombs.
Everything is so deep. Honeycombs with Tony Cheerios. So everything is so deep rooted in some aspect of reality that it's so believable in this alternate reality with zombies or zombie like people that I think when he shows up, he's like, are you fucking this for real? Or like, what's going on? Oh, no, you're not? Okay, iodine? Because he even says it again. Like, for everyone who didn't see the first one, he's like, I have iodine because the virus doesn't work on it. And he's like, oh, okay, so all the things, okay, cool. Well, I need you to fucking, help me manipulate these children,
What Jimmy pitches to him is, I need you to make me look good, to pretend to be the devil. And my God, does Ray Fiennes put on a show.
Does he do birthday parties? Like, I want to rent him out.
When they come back that night, and Jimmy's like, no, he's going to meet us. And they get there. Ray Fiennes comes out with all the makeup. And okay, that rock music had to just be for us, right? That wasn't blasting. There's no way they could blast music in that bone temple. There's no electricity.
He showed it. He showed it.
How?
He pulled up.
How did he get electricity out there?
Remember, when he's down in his little basement, he has speakers. He has a record player. He's listening. Yeah. The whole thing.
You're right.
Is that he's listening to the album Rio by Duran Duran, because the first song he throws on is "Girls on Film," and then
you see his penis.
"Ordinary World." We do see. His
penis. Yeah. I took my teenage daughter to see this.
Why would you? Do you know there was going to be dong? What the fuck?
I didn't know there was going to be that much.
I was like, I don't think you could possibly have guessed there was going to be this much dong.
No. How did you know? They're amping up
a lot more than the first
in the sequel. Yeah, because that's what sequels do. They amp up dongage. If you got a little dong, you're going more dong. Come on, Josh. You know this. Fucking rookie. Day one.
I failed on down.
Anyway, Alan, you were saying?
But yeah, so he's playing The Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden.
Right.
That thing is just rocking. And then he blows
Yeah.
cocaine in their faces. Like,
Is that what he was?
Drug
Right?
pusher.
It was like cocaine, right?
Like,
it
it was like angel dust or something. It was
something.
It was a dust-based drug.
Dude.
He blows in their faces, and they all start tripping balls. Like,
He just puts on a one-man show.
Even
And
Spike is just like,
fucking
whoa.
kills it.
Maybe he is saying.
Oh, we never even talked about Spike's story arc and all this and everything, and how he was going to die, by the way. Remember? That's the whole point of them going to go see Dr. K. Because Spike was supposed to kill the pregnant chick. He meets up with her and says, like, yo, please take me with you. And she's like,
she
fuck
punches
off,
him in the
little kid.
dick.
She punches him in the dick. She fucking bounces. And then Spike makes up a lie that he killed her.
Listen, that's a
And then-
crime.
That is a crime. She hit a
Touching
minor.
children in the dick. You can't do that.
And then the whole point was that Jimmy was like, yo, you need to fight. Someone else is going to fight you because, like, we don't fucking believe you. And then the girl from Winter Soldier was like, or not Winter Soldier,
You don't
Falcon and Winter
believe me?
Soldier, was like,
She
no,
got
I
away.
saw fucking old Ricky or whatever the fucking we're calling him.
Old
and
Nick.
that's the reason why they were going. Old Nick. That's right.
Yeah.
Santa Claus. And so that's why they were going. And, like, there's so much in this movie. Like I'm saying before, it's not subplots. It's all just the plot. There's so many stories interweaving in this. It was fucking awesome. I'm drinking a little bit. I'm a little bit drunk, so I'm all over the place. I apologize, fellas.
That's okay. I'm reading about Nickelodeon. I didn't mean to read Nickelodeon. I was typing in
Why
old Nick,
Nickelodeon?
and it was just
What
like
the fuck.
old Nickelodeon used to
do you
have
think-
Sponge. What?
They did have a SpongeBob. Do you guys think,
Yeah.
like, we were talking about how, or the talking between Ray Fiennes and Jack O'Connell, how amazing it is. Well, while we were discussing this, I was like, oh man, it kind of like gives me a little bit of flashback. Let's see if you guys agree to how awesome it was when Django with Christoph Waltz and DiCaprio talking. Like, I feel like that scene at the table when he rips his hand, and just how they were talking, like nothing much was going on, but just the way they talked, how they were interacting with each other was so you're invested that in this same scene it kind of felt similar, but almost maybe better. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Oh,
what do you guys think?
better.
Yeah.
Better than Django?
I know.
Better
That's
than
what I don't
Django,
know.
but-
I don't. Not better than the movie Django overall, but like there's something about Christoph Waltz that when he talks, you pay fucking attention. You know,
He's
obviously
he's
in
a
Glorious
very
Bastards and the
excited
opening
talker.
scene. No, but he's I don't know. There's something about him. There's chemistry. You know, he's got that riz.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I
no.
mean? But
Yeah,
like I don't know. I
no.
thought it was very similar to like watching people talk on screen, and you're like nothing's going on, but I'm so fucking invested in this. So that like those the dual characters remind me of that. What do you guys think? Am I off, or am I kind of somewhat in the ballpark?
No, I
Talk
mean,
amongst
like
yourselves.
like the fact that these two are so they're two of the best characters I've seen in a while in a movie, period.
Right?
And then
Right.
you just have them just showing down. It is like the whole like I think you used a couple good examples. I was also going to say like Batman and Joker, right? Where it's just
Which Batman?
I mean, I was going to say the Nolan Batman and Joker.
Okay.
Well, just more just like the energy of the two of them together.
Yeah, I'm just fucking with you. Keep going.
is so intriguing in its own
my
right
bad.
that they can carry the entire scene anyway.
Yeah,
And,
right.
yeah.
It's just like me and my buddy Zach. Josh knows Zach. We'll sit there and we're like, yo,
Yeah, I know that.
anytime fucking like A Few Good Men comes on and it's the courtroom scene.
That's not a good
you're
example.
Like, how many people are like,
courtroom
we're in a
scene? You mean the whole
courtroom?
movie?
Like, it's just
The
not the whole
courtroom
movie.
scene, yeah.
But the courtroom scene.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, nothing's going on, but hot damn, like with Kevin Bacon going like, I object, the honor, everything. You're just like, this is fucking great. Even that handoff when Kevin Bacon's walking away with the manual and fucking Tom Cruise sneaks it out of his hand. You're like, that fucking switch was amazing.
Oh.
You know, So
I said
good.
the whole movie because I thought you said 12 Angry Men, which all takes place.
Oh, 12 Angry Men. Which one though? There's multiple. The Jack Lemmon one or
No, the OG, man. Get out of here.
yeah,
Henry
both of
Fonda.
them are good. Henry
Fonda.
baby. Oh, I'm just
All right.
saying it's possible. It's
Well,
possible.
and then after you have all those scenes of them, talking and stuff like that, to then have Ray Fiennes come out and just do his one-man dance routine.
Dude,
is just,
for real.
Like
His
apparently he
fringe
can-
show.
Apparently he can throw fire. Like yeah, he's just on it.
And how did he put all that together so quick?
What do you mean he had a day and a half to do it? There, he's like, I'm coming back tomorrow.
Seems like
night.
a lot of work. How many
Yeah,
breaks did he take?
First of all, I work with performers, man. If they put their mind to it, accomplish anything. He
To
looked
be
great.
fair, what else is he doing most of the day?
And I like
Like,
that
Samson
once he was
left
done
him.
dancing,
Yeah, Sanson
he was
left him.
so out of breath because he's just an old man. And he finishes and he's just like, and he's trying to talk to him. He's like, I am the Lord Devil. He was so out of breath. And he clearly had a script that Lord Jimmy had given him. And there were 3 commandments he was supposed to give to the fingers, which were to obey Jimmy, to do whatever Jimmy tells you, things like the stupid things that Jimmy wanted for his favor. And Ray Fiennes says them because he doesn't want to have to eat his own intestines.
Yeah, he doesn't want to
But
get
then as it ends, this scene, and I was so psyched for the scene. I was like, dude, I cannot wait to see when Ray Fiennes realizes that Spike is in the group.
Right.
And he goes and he raises the masks of the fingers. And when he does, and he sees Spike, and he whispers quietly, Spike? I was like, oh my God, are they going to hear? Are they going to know? That's what I thought was going to happen. But they don't. And he just sees him, and you see Spike's face. And then when he's like, I have another commandment. And Jimmy's like, no, you don't. That's it. They have to follow me. And he's like, no. And he basically commands them to attack and crucify Lord Jimmy.
Oh.
What a great, that scene, that turn. I was so excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to
Great moment.
Usually when me and Josh go see movies, we drink. Also, during this movie, I was drinking pretty good. So when I drink,
I was sober for this one.
I was
one and only.
Fucking invested. Maybe that's why I like this movie so much, because I was like, let's fucking go. So that whole scene, the only person, because if you haven't seen it, or maybe you have seen it, you have to remember, they're all wearing this like weird mask that they made. So everyone else takes off their mask, but Spike like leaves it on because Spike saw that it's Dr. K. He's trying to like somewhat tell the other girl from Falcon and Winter Soldier it's not who you think it is, but like can't quite get it out. And so the whole time, the tension of the audience member, knowing you're like, Spike, dude, just reveal yourself. He's gonna fucking like you. Come on, man. Or someone, Kate, kind of like you're like, oh man, please, something. And at the very end, the director, such a great job of just building that tension, then finally just like releasing it and just being like, Spike, like you said. And even I like to think that they heard him and they fell more into the lore of Dr. K, of being like,
because he knows who they are.
He would know who he is. This is 100% the guy that we think he is, where he's like, oh shit, my friend from before, like I have to help him, and then does that last comment. Oh, dude, I was out of my seat like, let's fucking go. Oh, I was so excited.
Well, and even the acknowledgement of him as Spike instead of Jimmy would be undermining to Jimmy.
Yes.
So if the devil is acknowledging other people have identities, then they don't have to follow Jimmy. Mm-hmm. Like there's so much to
plays.
It. Yeah,
it plays on so many levels. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I didn't even think about that. Yes.
I really dig this whole scene. I love this whole scene a lot. But this is a scene I wonder if general audiences are going to find it anticlimactic, because it's not a big action moment. We don't get a big kind of action set piece. It kind of ends kind of abruptly, because what happens is when he's like, crucify Jimmy, and they're coming in at him, and I'm like, oh God, this is going to be sweet. Then Jimmy's just like, no, he's not actually the devil. I was full of shit, and just stabs Ray Fiennes. And this is how Ray Fiennes dies. He just stabs him. Everybody's like, then everybody's like, really, like, what the fuck? And then up comes little Spikey, and he's like, I'm going to stab you. And he stabs him. And then it just kind of ends there. I mean, they kill, then there's a little bit of stabbing and killing. Everybody does a little stabbing. Everybody stabs each other.
I mean, they did crucify you.
Upside down, by the way.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. They get there. You don't see the crucifixion happen on screen. We see him post-crucified. So when they come into the Bone Temple, with the whole scene that Ray Fiennes had set up to make him seem like the devil involves a giant upside-down cross. There's fire everywhere. Remember when I said I don't know how he had time? He had little flames set up everywhere. How do they have time to set all this up? I don't know. But he did it.
There's a way. He's not watching Jersey Shore. He's getting shit done. You know what I mean?
Well, he should be. It's actually pretty entertaining.
Well,
he's got electricity. But
he had a fucking generator. He had a gas-powered generator. You see him fill it up with the...
I'm saying so he could watch Jersey Shore.
Oh, shut up. I hate you.
If he has it, he could get him. But so they end up fulfilling what Ray Fiennes had told them to do, to crucify him, and they crucify him upside down. Okay, this I think is a huge. We're gonna get to the real big lead up for the third movie, but I think this is a real big lead up to the third movie. He's definitely coming back as some sort of supervillain, right? I think he's coming back.
I think so too.
100%.
I think he is coming back. I think that Samson pulling him down off the cross doesn't realize what he is freeing.
Wait, did Samson pull him off the cross?
Well, doesn't Samson seemingly attack him at the end of the like it shows from his perspective, he's like looking up at the night sky, and all of a sudden Samson falls into frame.
I thought it was black. Samson. So Samson, you find out that Samson killed all the zombies in the train, and then when Samson finally shows up, he sees him as Jimmy sees him as the devil because he's still tripping balls.
Right.
So Samson has the horn, but then Samson picks up Dr. K, and then he starts walking off with Dr. K. I thought, does he come back later and pick him up? I don't remember that.
There's just like a 1 second flash at the end of something coming into his line of view, and I thought it was Samson.
I will tell you this. I was trying to take notes on my phone during the movie. So I looked down for a second, and then I heard a quick noise, and I turned to my daughter, and I said, what just happened? And she said, a zombie lunged at him while he was on the cross. She didn't say Samson.
Oh, I do remember.
Maybe
I do remember
an infected
that.
zombie.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, I remember that.
But,
yeah, because I remember the face jumping at. Okay.
So the thing about this crucifixion, though, why I say coming back as a super zombie, because they went so out of their way he claims to be, the Lord of Satan or the son of Satan and all this. And they went so out of their way to make this the most true Christ or anti-Christ-like crucifixion, because he is crucified, he is upside down. They show the wound on his side, the same spear wound that Jesus had, the stab wound that Spike gave him. They have him say, the Father, why have you forsaken me? He does the whole spiel, the biblical spiel of Jesus, to the point to where I'm like, I really feel like, are they trying to say is he going to be resurrected? Is he going to come back? I feel like he's going to be some sort of zombified extra version of himself, especially now that we know the zombies can be more than just zombies.
So that's actually a really good idea, that if he's a new alpha. I like that idea a lot, because now he is infected. And also earlier in the movie when he's talking to Ray Fiennes, he says, "Yeah, I saw my dad leading a horde of zombies."
Right.
He was an infected leader of the horde, and so maybe that's how he'll come back, is as an infected leader of a horde of zombies.
I kind of feel like that's where they're going. I feel like the buildup was just too much to just leave it, and because you don't actually see him die. If someone dies off screen, they're never actually fucking dead.
Man, I was just happy he was dead. I was like, yeah, fuck that guy. But
no,
you guys bring up really good points.
He's going to come back as some sort of super zombie.
Well, we'll talk about the ending and what I thought. But, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, so that is pretty much how it ends. We see... Go ahead.
How did the one girl die? Because I know the girl from Falcon and Winter Soldier, she stabbed the tall dude that was there. There's only 3, like, Jimmys left.
Yes,
so there was, like, the one dude...
one at a time.
Yeah, so she killed her. Who killed the other girl? Did she kill the other girl too?
She killed the other girl too because the other girl tried to attack her.
Okay, and then
told her, hey, don't do it, and she did it anyway.
And she did, and then that's when Jimmy was trying to kill her, but then Spike stabbed him.
Yes,
and that was really fucking cool. Yeah. Okay.
So
okay,
Spike and Winter Soldier Girl. Spike and Winter Soldier Girl go off, and then we cut to a nice little cottage. We go to a nice little cottage, and there's a little girl working on some stuff, and you hear a voice. And as soon as I heard the voice, I said, oh, that's Cillian Murphy. And I expected to see him. I really did. I thought I was going to see him, but as soon as I heard the voice, I knew. I said, that's him. And so when he walked into frame, I told my daughter, I said, that's the guy from the first one. That's the guy from 28 Years Later. She was watching them with me for this pod. And she's like, I don't look like him. And I said, well, yeah, that was 20-something years ago. Like, it's 30 years
later.
The guy's old. The guy's older. So he lives in a very nice little cottage. Seems like he is a teacher because he's talking to his daughter. His daughter, who is mixed, which if you remember the actress, I don't know her name from the very first
Naomi
movie.
It's Moneypenny from
Bond. Yeah, it's Naomi Harris. Yeah.
Yeah, Moneypenny, bro.
I didn't even recognize.
Come on.
So
get on it.
So it is. We don't see her, but it is led to believe this is their child. She is, what would you say, 12 years old, 13, young preteen,
teenager. Yeah.
So, and she's studying for a test, And Killian is talking to her about the test, and he's like, this might be on the test. And she's like, Dad, you make the test. So he's clearly like a teacher of some sort.
He's like the homeschooler.
Do you think,
but you
I was
know
going to say,
it
do you think
wasn't-
this is just him teaching her, or is there like a group? Is there a family?
No, I think
Is
he's teaching
there
a group. I'm going with group.
I would like it to be a group, just for his sake, that he's not alone with only his
Right.
daughter in the woods.
Because
But-
it didn't feel
Because it's
it
such
didn't
a
feel
nice-
cheesy either. The way she
No.
said it, she's like, "Dude, you fucking make the test. Like, what are you're being a dick right now?" You're like, it
I know,
didn't feel
because
cheesy.
I could see it going both ways. If it's just them two, and he's just making a test just for her,
Oh, I thought
or
he was a teacher.
he is a teacher who teaches, a group of children in a little village that they have, or
But
something.
I guess we never did see the village.
No, we don't.
Ooh, No.
But they hear the distant sound. This is the very end of the movie. This is the teaser for the next. They hear the distant sound of like a horde, and they go to investigate. And they're peeking through the binoculars, and the daughter says, "Oh, there's two people. They're running," and they look, and it is the girl from Falcon and Winter Soldier and little Spike, and they're running from a huge group of zombies. And they're just like, "Are we going to help them?" And they say, "Of course we are." And they go to help, and it ends.
He was apprehensive a little bit. Can we talk about this, please? Because
No.
I
No.
did not expect him to come back. Everyone was like, "Oh," in the first 28 years later, they were like, "Oh, he's one of the zombies," and everyone said, "No, he's not." And obviously, he wasn't, because that was
Right.
dumb. He would never be that. So, in my dumb,
Never.
primitive brain, I'm not even thinking about him ever returning to the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Doing Oppenheimer, doing all this other shit. Like, he doesn't have to return. So when he came on screen, I think I wish I jumped out of my seat as much as metaphorically I jumped out of my seat, because because in our theater, for some reason, there wasn't a lot of us. We were in our own row, and I just was like, "Oh,
Well, it was a Thursday.
oh shit!" And like, I became that person for a hot minute, because it's fucking awesome that he came back.
It
and he
is.
has the kid who clearly is a daughter from the woman he met in the first one. I forget her name right now.
Right.
Naomi.
Naomi Harris, yeah.
Thank you. And then the undertone, because I even said this to Josh, I was like, Aaron, I'll ask you the same question. What has a better theme music? The first, like the Saw franchise, that music's so great, or this 28 years now later music?
The only reason why I would lean 28 Days is because I haven't had to sit through like 5 terrible 28 Days movies.
Well, okay,
Would have
let's
that
not
true.
talk about the terrible one. Just the first one. Just the first one.
actually
It's all we
two.
need.
The
Just the
first
first
one,
one.
I think
It was
in the
perfect
first one,
in the
I think
first one.
The Saw music
Yeah.
was super
Because-
iconic. Like immediately I was like, this rules. Like,
Oh yeah.
It was also, let's all be fair, it was the mid-aughts, and
Sure.
we all kind of liked new metal more than we probably should have.
Probably should have.
And,
But that first
and
Saw
was
movie-
that. Yeah.
The first movie is a really good suspense thriller. That's how I classify it. Not so
Yeah.
much horror, but suspense thriller. But like when that music started coming in slowly with that undertone, not Saw, but the fucking 28 Days, the original 28 Days music, because we haven't heard that in a while.
Oh yeah, I know. When
I
they started
would-
playing it again,
I freaked the fuck. The inner movie geek in me was like, this is fucking perfect. Two worlds are colliding that I didn't think was going to happen, because the first one happened and it was great. Then the second one happened, and I liked it as an action zombie movie,
Yeah,
but
it was
just-
mid.
just,
It was
it
fine.
was whatever. And then it took so much longer. And then the second one was, like I said, a very artsy. So I was kind of apprehensive. And this one, I was like, fucking, that capitalized it for me. I was like, let's fucking go. I was so excited, and I just wanted to share that with both of you.
Well, and I
was
also
very
think
excited.
that it's in a position where if that does not happen, I think people would still be on board for one more of these movies. However, I think they've also now earned the goodwill to say we do not need to rely on nostalgia to sell the end of this thing. We can just do whatever we want, and we can fit anything anyway, because as long as Alex Garland is writing the screenplay, we're set.
Yeah, like you didn't need that. That was so not needed. But because they put it, like literally what you just said, because they put it in there, it just fucking was the cream, the cherry on fucking top of this.
and
zombie
I
franchise.
appreciate that it wasn't like a post credit or anything.
Yes.
They just put it
Yes.
in the movie. That's a part of the narrative of the movie that they just show you, and they show you directly how it connects. That Spike and the girl are running, and this is who they're going to run into. This is who's going to help them.
Oh my god.
There's also something to be said about the fact that we know that that Spike and Jimmy, was it? I'm trying to remember what she went by.
Kelly?
Jimmy something. Yeah. The two of them are coming from absolute hell, and they say no place in the world is better than this. Every place is bad, and they're coming upon the most idyllic seeming cottage that's ever existed. Like when we first see the cottage, it looks like it's like out of the fucking Holiday. Like it's super
really
chill
because he's making tea. They got books.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is like the perfect like English countryside place, and they are bringing chaos with them to their doorstep. And I just kind of, again, it's the idea that like the world may balance for a minute, but it's always somehow getting worse for people in this world.
Yeah.
And
well, it's funny. Keep going. Sorry.
Well, it just fits with the themes of the other movies that Garland has written.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too because for we keep calling her Falcon and Winter Soldier girl, Jimmy, but like at the very end when that Kelso whole scene when they crucify Jimmy and all that shit, she even talks to Kelso. And Kelso's like, "There's nothing. This is all bullshit." Like her whole world. I mean, it's so funny because she's been a part of this people, and she's a Satanist. So we all should like fucking hate her, but for some reason she has some sort of humanity with her. I think because she was starting to think that Jimmy was a bullshitter and was like the first one to be like, I don't believe this motherfucker.
Yeah,
and she's nice to Spike when nobody else is,
and she's nice to Spike, and she's always been helping out Spike, who we love. So like we give her this like pass, even though we know she's done atrocities.
Like even in the opening pool scene, she's okay with Spike dying. She's just telling the dude he's fighting, quit fucking with him. Just end it. Like stop tormenting him.
And which gives you kind of some sort of like humanity as well.
A little bit of compassion.
No,
she's like, you're gonna kill him, but just don't fuck with him.
Yeah, exactly. So at the very end, because we didn't really say it, when they're walking away from the Bone Temple and all that shit just went down, everyone's dead and all that shit, they both take off because they've been wearing these blonde wigs. They both take off their blonde wigs. And she just goes, my name's Kelly or whatever.
Her name is actually Kelly, yes.
Yeah, okay, so yeah. And she's like, yeah, I'm Spike. Like, so like it's such a great shedding of like that alternate persona. So now, like you said, when they meet up with someone, they're going to be like, wait, what is reality? Like, what is life? And so it's going to be so interesting in the third one.
So we have
5
talked. Well, yeah, the third of the trilogy. We've talked a long time. It's time to go to the moment. That's good, though. There's a lot to say. But this is the part where we go to the end. This is the part of the show that we call Letterbox Time. We're going to look and see what the people of Letterbox think. Now, it's a little different with a brand new movie like this because we are recording on the Friday that this movie actually comes out. So we don't have as big of a pool, but there's still plenty on there. I went and looked. And we're going to see what we think of it Letterboxd-wise. So Tim was complaining I always go to him first. So, Alan, I'm going to you first.
Thank you.
Alan, give us your final thoughts on your Letterboxd rating.
I think that this is just like one of those movies that is just pure entertainment the entire way through. An absolute roller coaster of a movie. Is it a perfect action movie? Probably not. But there's so much that's going on in this thing. It's so alluring. I definitely am going to need to sit with it a couple more times. But it'd be really hard for me to say that this is anything less than a 4 out of 5. I think that's where I'm at the moment. And I think upon rewatch, I can easily see this going to 4.5 out of 5. But it's January 16th. I do not want to start giving out 5-star reviews like 2 weeks into the year. like we still have a long year.
Listen, if they earn it.
It's fair. If they earn it, yes.
But they earn it.
This is not quite a perfect movie, so I'm still sitting at 4 out of 5.
All right. Timbo, what are you thinking? What'd you think?
I like I said, I was drinking while watching it, and I get very invested while I'm drinking while watching movies. It's so funny when Josh told me before we started doing this that he was like, he didn't think that I would actually like this movie. I actually texted Josh right away after I saw it. I said, what the fuck, in all caps. And I just like, because I was so excited about that ending. That was the reason why I texted you, Josh. It was because of the ending. I just was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's a great ending.
I honestly... Personally, I don't want a third one because I just want them to live. I want Gyllenhaal. I
need
Gyllenhaal.
that third
Oh my
one.
god, no! I don't want anything bad happen to Cillian Murphy. I just want them to save him and everyone to live in peace and harmony. And I don't know if I can take that emotional toll.
You're right. They'll probably kill Cillian in the third one.
When I came home or when I got home, I should say, I was definitely the booze were feeling it even more. And I went on Letterboxd right away, and I gave it a 5-star review. And I just said, "Let's fuck." I think that was the first movie I ever commented on it, because usually I just do the stars. And I commented like, "Let's fucking go." I forgot what I said. Honestly, I had to go check my phone. My phone is dying, so I put on the charger, so I can't do it right now. I have been drinking as also, and I enjoyed our conversation tonight as well. And I'm at least giving it a 4.5 or a 5. I don't give a fuck. This movie had me wrapped around its finger.
Don't hold back, Tim.
I was in its palm the whole fucking time. Yeah, so I'm still sitting at that. I enjoy this movie so much, way more than the other one, because I just didn't, understand maybe too much. Maybe if I go and rewatch the other one 28 years later, that being the other one, I can like give it a better ranking, because Josh knows I was kind of like apprehensive about it. This one, dude, I was fucking in it to win it. I remember talking to my friend going, "This is shot beautifully." We were like, the cinematography was awesome.
Yeah, the
location. Oh my god, the locations are beautiful. The story was great. The idea of a zombie coming back to life and the way they did it when he said moon and then the ticket and the whole Samson,
oh my god, he said moon, bro.
And like Samson didn't come in to save Dr. K. It just everything happened the way it was supposed to happen. Like, it was so well done.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about Samson carrying the doctor off.
He carried the doctor off, and then he said, "Thank you, Dr. K." Like thank you for bringing me back.
Everything had come through.
There was such a humanity to almost everything, even if it's dark. Like there was especially to Samson himself. Like, there was so much more going on that I feel like people are gonna be like, "Oh, surface level, it's just two stoners getting high." But you're like, the way we broke it down tonight, you're like, no, there was so much more to it. And I think I'm rewatching it again. Like, I'm like excited to rewatch it again to be like, okay, what else did I miss? And so yeah. So I'm at it. I'm going full throttle. January, what did you say? 16, the day of recording. I'm going 5. Josh said I'm going 5 stars.
All right,
and I feel
locked in, Tim.
I'm locking in. Sorry, that's a long-winded explanation.
No, that's okay. When I came out of the theater, when I came out of the cinema, I logged this at a 4.5. But I already knew. I was like, I know in my heart of hearts, it's going to go higher than that. I'm just in this weird, like you said, Alan, if I watch it again, it's going to go up. It's the same thing that happened with me with 28 Years Later, the first time. I logged it as a 4 out of 5. Then I sat on it a little bit, and without even rewatching it after sitting, I bumped it up to a 4.5. And then I've watched it like 3 times since then. I'm so close to giving that movie a 5.5. I fucking love 28 Years Later. I think it is damn near perfect. So, and I feel the same way when I came out of the theater watching this one. I was like, oh, God, I feel weird because it's like I know there's more to it. I just wasn't expecting what I got. I need to see it again. And the more I sat on it, I was like, I think I'm going to go higher, but I wasn't there yet. This discussion made me, I went in and I changed my log to a 4.5. So I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5. I already know I'm going to get there. I'll watch it again. I'm going to be there 100%.
Let's go.
So we are locked in. We are locked in as a 4, a 4.5, and a 5.
Yeah.
Such a good, fun movie. Like, it was refreshing.
Like truly, what a way to kick off the year.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, man. This and Primate, oh my God. They're just giving it to us.
I'm also a real sucker. I'm a real sucker for The Rip, a movie that is simultaneously not good at all, and also my dirtbag crime shit is like this is what I love to watch in movies.
Just guilty.
See, I gave The Rip a 5 out of 10. I gave The Rip a 5.
I mean, do I disagree? Not really. Did I enjoy the shit out of that movie? Absolutely.
See, and that's the thing. Like there's some popcorn movies that you're like, dude, this movie's not good, but I'm having a great time with it. Like, this movie isn't that movie. It's such a good movie. Like, I can't say the word fun because it's not like you're having like fun with it. You're just like, I'm invested in it. You know what I mean? Well, like, I know it's kind of weird to say it like that, but you guys are understanding what I'm saying.
And what I think is almost a pretty good comp for these two movies so far, and we still obviously have another movie to go to see where it heads. And hopefully it doesn't necessarily follow this franchise's trajectory, but it feels like the first movie is the Alien. It's the more like a metaphorical, metaphysical, like rumination on death, where this movie is like the all-out action blitz like Aliens was. And I think that may inform my difference right now, is that I'm more of like I'm really into like the dissection of what it means to be British in the first movie versus this movie is like just a pure action movie. And I'm like trying to get my hands around that in this franchise, and it's
See,
so good as that.
I don't see it as an action movie. There is things that happen, but it's not. I don't know. It just doesn't. It feels like a drama.
Like almost operatic
movie.
Like yeah.
I don't know. Oh.
Well, this has been a riveting discussion, and we're moving in the only way that makes sense, the only evolution that makes sense, by going directly into Pitch Perfect next week. The Pitch Perfect franchise is coming at you. Stay tuned for that. What's after that? You'll have to wait and see, but it'll be good. I can promise you that. And on that note, we will
back
end.
in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, right.
We will end the 28 years franchise on that note, and I will catch you on that flippity flop.